Sports Podcast, episode number 195. Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali, Al Nahigian. And we actually got some news this week other than Patriots news, because it's all we've talked about for months, because the Patriots
Well, we're talking about Cam Newton. I'm done talking about Cam Newton.
We're not going to talk about Cam Newton, although I'm talking about Cam Newton on my other show tonight that I do.
Fun.
Because listen, here's the fact that I've come to the conclusion with. I don't think Cam Newton is totally out of our lives.
No.
Cam Newton very well might be the quarterback of the Patriots next season.
What was it? WEI, 35 to 40% chance of Cam coming back?
And I don't even like that.
It's a lot higher than it should be. It should be zero.
I hate
zero.
that. I hate
Who said?
I don't even like that. And I'm coming to the point now where I don't even know if Bill is going to draft my gut feeling is that Bill does not take a quarterback in the first round, because that's just not what Bill Belichick does.
No, he's going to take Micah Parsons. He's going to take Micah Parsons out of Penn State, and we're all going to be disappointed by it. It's going to happen.
And he's probably going to be great.
Probably.
He's probably going to be very solid.
It's not what you need. It's not what you need.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, like, the most important position in sports, in American sports at least, is the quarterback position. What the hell is this hair doing?
I don't know, but we got you focusing on a hair. Jared doesn't have a mic stand now. Like, what are we doing here, fellas? Holy,
this is
We're killing the game. We're killing the game.
It's 195 episodes, and this show is going to shambles right now.
Listen, 100. We're 5 episodes away from 200. We got to figure out something for that show.
Yeah, I got to do something big.
It's 5 weeks away, guys. It's a long time.
That is a long time. I'm not much of a planner. My MO's not planning.
Nick's gonna show up that night and just go, okay, guys, what are we doing? 200. Let's do it.
Okay,
yeah,
so I'm gonna have to plan this.
We're gonna wing it. We're gonna figure it out. But anyway, no weekly dump this week because we're on a time restraint, and these topics need all of the time possible. We're going to talk Andrew Benintendi being traded, because I got some thoughts on that. I texted these guys, I think it was on Saturday. I am so tired of Celtics fans. I am. I'm a Celtics fan, but I'm so tired of specific Celtics fans. In sports Twitter in general, man, it sucks. It is just loaded with a bunch of whiny babies. That's all it is. And it's just so dumb to listen to all the time. And then on top of that, we also got some J.J. Watt news that we could talk about as well. Because I don't know if you guys heard J.J. Watt gone. J.J. Watt
really
out of Houston.
Huh.
Wow.
You mean T.J. Watt out of Pittsburgh, right? J.J. Watt wouldn't leave Houston.
J.J. Watt, the face, basically, I mean, other than maybe James Harden, I guess, basically the face of Houston sports. Right? Is that fair to say?
That city. What he's done for that city? Even after the hurricane.
Right. Right.
It's insane.
Houston,
they're like, all right, bye. See ya.
Houston sports are in shambles. Nobody wants to be there.
I was literally just about to say that same exact phrase. They have nothing going on.
I guess I beat you to it.
Nothing. Shut up. Anyways.
Nick, I think you might be smarter than Al.
I mean, that's not saying much.
So we got all that tonight. We've got no weekly dump. But guys, we always, as always, have to talk about our friends over at Manscaped. Guys, fellas, we're in the thick of winter. It sucks. I'm tired of winter. I'll be honest. I'm sick of it. This winter specifically, I don't know what it is. It really hasn't even been that bad.
It's the COVID.
Weather-wise. Yeah, maybe COVID. Maybe just because we've been locked inside the house since we're coming up on a year of basically all this stuff shutting down. What was it, the second week of March?
Yep.
It was right around there. Yep.
We're about a month away from coming back on that. So we're in the thick of winter. Storms are brewing. It looks like 1 to 3 inches are in the forecast when you trim the hibernation bush that's taking place in your pants. Luckily, our partners at Manscaped, they specialize in products to make sure you're walking around town with beautiful snowballs. Just don't be walking. You can't walk around with those out in the open, but keep them in your pants, and we know you've got beautiful snowballs if you're dealing with Manscaped. Guys, Manscaped is here to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience, offering precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. The Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer is the best hygiene tool for the modern man. Because of their ceramic blade and advanced skin-safe technology, your snags on your snowballs will be reduced. The trimmer is also waterproof, so you can trim in the shower or the jacuzzi if you're a savage. Anybody ever fucking trims? If I don't have a jacuzzi, but if I did, and anybody ever fucking trimmed their pubes in my jacuzzi, never talk to me again.
Noted. Challenge accepted.
You ever just want to end your friendships with me? Just do that. Manscaped's Performance Package is the best of 2021. The Performance Package comes with the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0, Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag. Have you ever noticed how nasty nose and ear hair can be? In fact, 79% of partners polled, I almost read that as polled, admitted that long nose hair is a major turnoff, which I get it. Long nose hair, pretty gross. Might as well use the best tools to do the job. This bundle also comes with the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant and Crop Reviver Ball Toner. The Crop Preserver is anti-chafing ball deodorant that will make your balls smell nice and make you feel like your testes are walking in a winter wonderland. Sounds cold. The Crop Reviver is a spray-on toner for your balls. It's made with soothing aloe and witch hazel extracts that will make your balls look up at you and say, thanks. Don't get cold feet this winter. Get 20% off with free shipping with the code CouchGuy20 at manscaped.com. They also have a ton of other amazing men's hygiene products on their website, from disposable mats for your pubes to foot deodorant. Again, listen up. Get 20% off with free shipping with the code CouchGuy20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using promo code CouchGuy20, COUCHGUY20. That's Manscaped for making our winter wieners looking so good. I'm going to start using that phrase more. Winter wieners. Manscaped.com, promo code CouchGuy20. And thank you, as always, to our friends over at Manscaped. All right, boys. First, I want to get into the Andrew Benintendi news. Andrew Benintendi, it's been rumored, really. I feel like it's been all offseason. Andrew Benintendi, traded, gone. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Probably most famous in Boston for that diving catch he made in the ALCS. And honestly,
the iconic Fenway picture. That iconic Fenway picture with the standings behind him. I actually have that up on my wall. I'm not going to turn my camera because this room is chaos right now, but I actually have it up on my wall. So Andrew Benintendi, great things here in Boston. Okay. But to be honest with you, for a guy who's got I'd say 3 really standout moments, the ALCS catch, that picture that we just talked about in front of the monster, and his first season when he came up as a phenom and he made that catch, it was at the Trop, where he went slamming into the wall with the tables right below him. So 3 very awesome moments, right? Overall, underwhelming as hell, especially for the expectations. What was he, 6th overall? 6th overall?
7th, I think.
I'll look that up. But with the way that he came up, even Michael Chaves, when he came up, it was okay, he's going to be good. But Andrew Benintendi, when he came up, they were like, this kid is going to be a stud. They said, Chicago White Sox, no way you can't have Andrew Benintendi for Chris Sale. We'll give you Yohan Moncada. We'll give you this athletic specimen. But we're not going to give you Andrew Benintendi instead.
Hey, imagine if Yohan Moncada was on your team right now.
Oh, my God. Imagine him at second base. That would be a loaded infield.
Yeah.
Loaded.
You'd have Xander and Moncada turning double plays for the foreseeable future. That'd be fun, right? But no,
it would be unreal. But so Andrew Benintendi, overall, guys, just underwhelming. Underwhelming during his time in Boston.
Well, he was supposed to be Mookie Betts. That's what you got from it. He was supposed to be it was him and Mookie. And that was these guys are that caliber. Obviously, Mookie lived up to it. But Andrew Benintendi's not. And I said this on the Triangle too, Nick. I'm not mad about trading him. I'm mad about they really didn't get much for him. If you're going to trade him, why do it now? You might as well let him take another year into Cora.
I don't even know if that's true, though. Because when you look at, I get it, Franchi Cordero, he's not anything special. Everybody keeps calling this guy Willie Mo Pena 2.0.
He's Andrew Benintendi, but he's just a little more powerful. That's what he is. You got another Andrew Benintendi.
Right, so, and that was my initial reaction, too, when I just saw the Franchi Cordero news part of the trade. People keep calling him Willie Mo Pena 2.0, which, first of all, Willie Mo Pena, I saw the furthest ball hit in my life when I went to a Paw Sox game when I was younger. Willie Mo Pena was there on a rehab assignment. He hit that ball. You guys have been to McCoy, right?
Yeah.
I haven't.
The left. You've never been to McCoy?
Nope.
Fuck you. there's that wall of advertisements in left field. It's a tall wall, and it's not like the monster where that's the home run mark. There's a patch of grass, I think like a paved walkway, and then a giant wall of ads. Mm-hmm. Willie Mo Pena, I was walking. He hit that ball so far, it cleared everything in left field. It was like the Vlad Guerrero Jr. home run from 2 years ago. It was literally that. That ball was hit so far. It was unreal. So anyway, Franchy Cordero, I get it. If anything, like I think that's like a lateral move. Benintendi for Cordero. I don't know if that's it's not really an improvement, but to me, the reason why you make this trade, other than the 3 guys to be named later, there's 5 guys coming in this trade, but Josh Winkowski, is how you pronounce it?
Winkowski?
Winkowski, I think.
Whatever it is. Yeah, on Baseball Reference, it's Winkowski, but I've also seen Winkowski. I don't know. I think it's Winkowski. Wink.
Rob Wink.
Joshy Wink.
Rob Wink. Joshy Wink.
To me, this guy is the reason why Chaim Bloom made this deal.
I mean, throws 90 with a 90-plus slider. I mean,
right,
lethal combination.
And he's 22 years old, and something I think a lot of Red Sox fans just refuse to talk about, refuse to admit. It's insane. Okay, you won the World Series in 2018. But the guy who you brought in to do that, to build that roster, was Dave Dombrowski, a man who literally burned down 2 franchises prior to you. The Florida Marlins and the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers still haven't recovered.
I mean, I was going to say, I'm pretty honestly okay with the way the Red Sox have recovered. They're doing a lot better than the other 2 teams are.
Right. With the way the Red Sox are on track right now, they got out from the Dave Dombrowski era almost at a perfect time where you actually still have the chance to rebuild. The Tigers.
I'll say you feel bad for the Tigers because the Tigers didn't even win the World Series. The Marlins and Red Sox both did at least. At least we got the title to show for it. The Tigers just are twiddling their thumbs because the Red Sox somehow won in 2013.
And the funny part about this, just going back to the actual trade for a second, the people that say that Benintendi wasn't decreasing, have you taken a look at the actual stats? 2018, he was fine, hit 290, had a little bit of power, 18 and 67, something like that. But then in 2019, the average came down, the power came down, the strikeouts went up, and then 2020 he stunk. And everybody
who's watching that saying
terrible last season.
The ones who are saying he hasn't downplayed himself or hasn't downgressed aren't watching the Red Sox. They're just thinking of 2018 Benintendi and not even watching the Red Sox. That's who those people.
They're not paying attention, and they're not seeing that. Like we all just said, he's not the guy that we drafted. No. He's not a top 10 draft pick. And you know what? Maybe a fresh start in Kansas City is what he needs. Rebuild the farm system and get ready in the next couple of years.
Right, and my concern is Andrew Benintendi. He goes to Kansas City, right? If he all of a sudden just has this awesome season, I don't think that would happen here. I think a change of scenery might be good for him. The kid's he's got talent, absolutely, but we saw, I think, what we were going to get out of him here. And this is one of those moves, if it wasn't made, I wouldn't have really cared. It's not I wanted Benintendi out, but now that he's gone, it's this really isn't – this team's not going to win a World Series this year. Again, going back to the Dave Dombrowski thing, you need to rebuild this team. I'm sorry, guys. Your team's not going to be good every single season.
No. You
know my thoughts on the Mookie Betts deal. I was okay with that too. You have to trade people. These players. This isn't baseball is a sport where you have to build at different levels, which is just something a lot of people I don't think like to think about.
Well, people are calling for Chaim's job, and it's he's doing exactly that though. He's
doing exactly what he was brought here for.
He keeps telling us over and over again, guys, be patient. We have to do this the right way because we can't go get top free agents if we don't have the farm system with people who are really good on smaller contracts to be able to actually fill in the holes with those guys who make a crap ton of money. We can't just spend out of the arms. And even the Yankees are being careful with their money.
And it's because of the fact, too, that we were so used to Dave Dombrowski getting big names like Craig Kimbrell, Chris Sale, JD Martinez, whether it was via trade or free agent signing. The last 3 years, who's been really a name that the Red Sox have really gotten in the offseason? There haven't been really big names. So now Boston sports fans like us are, crying because there haven't been any big names, any like flashy names coming, into the organization. So we know what they're doing. Casual Red Sox fans do not.
And you can't just spend, like, I get it. Like in these people who are referring to the Red Sox as the Tampa Bay Red Sox, just like
stop it.
Yeah, stop. It's the team. I'm pretty sure they still have one of the top payrolls in baseball unnecessarily.
Top 5.
Top 5. And Dave Dombrowski, he just paid everybody, which you can't do. If you want to build a championship team for the long term, you can't just pay everybody. I've got a problem with the Nathan Eovaldi contract. I thought that was a dumb contract when they signed that. I was like, okay, you're taking away money that you could use. The Chris Sale contract, I'm a Chris Sale guy, so that one's I'm a little biased there. But and I think Chris Sale can come back still, but like Nathan Eovaldi, I don't think is good enough to command the contract that he got. And he got that because of the World Series. It took him all the way up until the 2018 World Series to really get that contract.
You hear that too, right?
Yeah, this is weird. You're on a loop, Nick, right now. All I'm hearing is this. Contact. That's all I'm hearing. There we go. It's gone.
Now?
Yeah, that was freaky.
It's this microphone.
That's all I heard. All I heard was contact.
Like, that's all Jared and I were hearing for like literally. Yeah. Whatever the last word you said was, it was like contract.
Yeah.
Might have been contract.
The Nathan Eovaldi contract?
Yeah, it kept saying contract for 30 seconds straight.
Did you hear what I said about him, the World Series?
No,
all we heard was contract.
Well, what I was saying was it took him up until that World Series to even
don't edit
get
that out.
Contract. No. I'm not going to.
Don't edit that out.
It took him all the way up until the World Series to even get that contract. And he was good during
contract.
But he doesn't. I don't think he deserves the money that he got. So that's what people have to remember, is that Dave Dombrowski was just shelling out money. And then when you do that, you can't just trade a guy like Nathan Eovaldi. You can't just take a guy like Nate Eovaldi and be like, okay, here, take this guy and take his contract too. That's not how it works.
And what hurt you is like then you couldn't even bring a guy like Porcello back because you already paid Eovaldi. Whereas like I would have rather Porcello last year. I mean, Eovaldi was good last year.
Porcello was bad last year.
Yeah, but like, is that because he went to the Mets? Like, I don't know. Like,
no.
He's just not that good.
Yeah, he's not good.
I would like him back. I'm all for it.
Did win a Cy Young though.
He did.
Yeah,
remember he did win the Cy Young.
You can't be terrible if you win a Cy Young award. Like
no, he did. When he first got here, he did that every other year thing. 2015 it wasn't good. 2016 he won the Cy Young. 2017 it wasn't that good. 2018 he was okay. People forget too. 2018 he wasn't really that good. He was
everything just went right.
Yes, everything about that season went right.
But guys, we have Martin Perez back, so we're good.
Perez Day.
Perez Day's back. Let's go.
There's our 200th episode. Get Martin Perez on the podcast. There we go.
Oh, and I like Martin Perez. I do. But like that's my thing with Red Sox fans right now. They're all getting attached to these players. And then when the team wants to make a move, like Benintendi is perfect if you want to rebuild the farm system. Because let's be honest, not that good. At least he hasn't been that good. So you trade him away. You might have oversold for or undersold for him or whatever the term is. You might have gotten back more than you probably deserve.
I mean, if this guy, if what's his face, Wink, is that what we're calling him, pays out?
Winky.
If Winky pays off, so you're kind of okay with it, right? Like if he's actually that 90s fastball, 90s slider guy in the bullpen, plus you're getting guys back down the road, like okay. But I don't want to judge this trade until I know who's coming back. These other three players.
And not only that, you get to pick from a list of the guys that you want. So if there's somebody that Chaim wants, he can get them with these players to be named later. So you can strengthen that trade on your side even more.
Yeah, your microphone is just clicking in. This is great. None of this needs to be edited out. People need to understand the
only Zoom. It doesn't happen on my other show that we do on Skype.
People need to understand the wonders of this back end of this show.
I'm not taking the mic away from my face. I'm not doing it. I'll talk now like this, but I'm not taking the mic away from my face. But yeah, I mean that's just my problem. Like Benintendi really hasn't been that good, and everybody's panicking about Okay, what happens if you keep Andrew Benintendi here for the year?
He potentially does worse, and then you get even less.
I don't think it gets worse because I think people are undervaluing what core is for these guys who were like younger core guys who were here in 2018.
But
like,
what if he does?
But he was here in 2019, and Benintendi wasn't that good.
Yeah, but like he wasn't. Look, 2020, I can't judge anybody. Like Ottavino, like you're telling me that like Ottavino is good, but like he was crap last year. Like
but that's why I'm not referring to Benintendi's 2020 season. If I wanted to, I could say he struck out 17 times of his 39 at bats. But I'm not going to say that.
You're not going to say that. Yeah, no,
I'm not going to do that.
Why would you?
Look,
where's your hot tub? Where's your hot tub?
I don't have one yet, but I'm telling you, if I do, you're not getting in it.
Mark one down. Find one and let me in it. This is over.
You're not touching it.
This is done.
I'm just saying, if you
don't touch my drum set.
If you held on Andrew Benintendi for another season,
did you touch my drum set?
What's the benefit?
I know you touched my drum set.
Is he gonna help you win a World Series?
Me. I didn't touch your drum set.
Is Benintendi gonna help you win a World Series?
Not with the fucking Royals.
No.
Okay, but if he was on the Red Sox.
No, he's not.
No, of course he's not.
So that's my point. The goal here is to win a World Series. And if he's not going to help you win a World Series, and these guys potentially could, like you got a young pitcher out of this who I think again is the key point to this trade for the Red Sox. Because the pitching in the farm system's terrible. It's horrible.
Oh, you know what's happening? You know what's happening right now, Al? He's latching himself to this Wink guy like he latches himself to Duran.
Yeah, get ready for Durant.
Like this is the pitcher version of Durant. This is the pitcher version of Durant.
No. I know I love Jared Durant. I know I'm
what's happening right now.
And by the way, too, and maybe you guys know this better than I do. How's this Khalil Lee kid, the kid that went to the Mets in this trade?
Supposedly better than
supposedly like the big piece, right?
Mm-hmm. The Mets won this deal. Yeah. Why did we not get him?
Because the Red Sox are trying to just get rid of. They're trying to get more prospects, and they're trying to get rid of Andrew Benintendi.
Look, I'm not against Chaim Bloom. Like, I'm in support of Chaim Bloom and what he's doing. He's been consistent this whole time. Any Red Sox fan that wants him fired is just stupid.
Yes.
Like, there's a better chance of Brad Stevens getting fired right now than there is for Chaim Bloom. So everyone can get off that bandwagon real quick.
That is unfortunately true. Like, it's sad how true that statement is. That seat's getting lukewarm.
I think Lee went to the Mets.
He did.
Yeah, he did. That was the 13th.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
why
that's what I
said.
Get him and not us.
To the
Mets.
Why did the Red Sox get him?
Because the Red Sox are trying to get pitching out of this. They're not looking to get this. The 3-team trade, I'm assuming, happened because the Red Sox wanted a pitching prospect. The Mets wanted to get an outfielding prospect, and the Royals wanted Andrew Benintendi. So if you got to make those moves, that's when you have to bring that third team in, and that is why I'm just shit talking right now. I don't know why this happened, but that's just what I'm assuming.
Because what's that mean for our boy JBJ then?
I don't think he's coming back because
the Mets now just got another outfielder. Like his market is slowly dwindling. Like because maybe the Astros give it to him.
I was just about to say I think he's going to end up in Houston.
It's the only team left, right?
It is.
Like because the Red Sox just signed Gonzalez, so like they don't really need JBJ.
Oh, by the way, Marwin Gonzalez, love that move.
Great move.
I mean, it's better than JBJ.
Like, it really is from a hitting standpoint.
People do have to realize because a lot of people don't look at the prospects. Again, I'm going to bring his name up. Jared Duran is going to be a solid center fielder for this team.
All those videos coming out from him and his winter ball team, like the moonshots that kid was hitting. Like,
pretty good.
He's not that big of a dude. Like he's a twig in compared to other guys who are powerful in the majors. This kid is lefty and can hit the crap out of the ball. And mind the way, can actually play defense, unlike JBJ. I mean, can hit the ball, unlike JBJ. So
I was going to say, JBJ might be the best center fielder we've ever seen.
Yeah, and they don't want him back. Stupid. Anyway, look, if you have Verdugo, Jared Duran, and potentially other, like those two right there are your future.
Verdugo and Duran, yeah, they're absolutely the future. And then you go on, and if you get somebody via free agency, because they'll spend again, they just will. They're the Boston Red Sox. They have the money. And maybe you go out and get a guy who can play left field for the long term, not a guy like Hunter Renfroe, who probably is going to – I'm assuming is going to be your starting left fielder for the season.
Yep, and Kiki Hernandez, you got as a second baseman for a couple years.
Hernandez.
So
listen. The Red Sox overall, I think, have done very well this offseason.
For what they've had to deal with, like for what they've had financially and the prospects they've had to actually trade away and like what they've had to deal with, Chaim Bloom has done a very good job making this team a little more fun to watch and more competent and probably be able to win a few more games this year. They might not make the playoffs. They might not make the playoffs because their division is stupidly good, but they're still better to watch. They're a better product this year.
Real quick, there was an article that came out about off seasons throughout the MLB. Where did they place the Red Sox?
5th?
Really not good.
No, very good. 8th. 8th in the entire MLB.
Yeah, it was like second in the AL.
Well.
Third in the AL, but still pretty good.
See, but so here's my other thing about people getting pissed off at the Red Sox for not just signing guys just left and right. People legit just want the Red Sox to just take wads of cash and throw them at people. Like that's all they want. They just want, hey, any free agent available who has a name that I recognize, here's the money.
But it's
Al Nahigian, here's $800 million. Come play baseball.
My name in my head here is George Springer.
I don't want George $800 million.
My name there is George. Like George Springer. A lot of these guys from the Astros. I want to see more of what they do without the banging of the trash cans.
Yes, and by the way, you know why Red Sox fans are always saying to throw these wads of cash out at all these players? It's because they have the payroll to do it. If they were like Tampa Bay or Oakland, then obviously we wouldn't be hearing about fans wanting all these big names coming to Boston. So, I mean.
Hey, Nick, you just said that you want to see those guys do better. Well, Marwin Gonzalez was one of those guys who benefited the most from those trash can banging teams, and now he's a Red Sox. So.
I know.
Yikes.
I know. I think it's going to be interesting. I want to see, especially with these guys who are moving away from the Astros organization, like George Springer. I want to see how they do outside. Listen, they might do fine. They might just be just fine, but they might.
If JBJ goes in there and hits the crap out of the ball, we know. No.
All right. Speaking of guys moving on, J.J. Watt. This guy. I mean, like, what do we want to say about J.J. Watt?
He's going to the Browns, baby.
I would love for
Dog
him to go to
pound.
the Browns. Play on the opposite side of Myles Garrett with that pass rush. Are you kidding me?
That team would be a wagon. Can you believe that we're now talking about what the hell the Patriots are going to do at quarterback and overall as a team, and the Browns are a destination?
A destination.
Real quick, where do we think he actually goes? Realistically, goes?
The Browns. I genuinely think he goes to the Browns.
He could go. Didn't he already say that he kind of prefers that?
He said they're a preferred destination.
Yep. I think if it's the Browns or the Packers. I think
I was going to say Packers.
Wisconsin guy.
Chicago's a long shot too because Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace know they have to make a move to bolster up that defense.
And his wife, he played soccer in Chicago.
There you go. He's not. Yeah.
J.J. Watt's wife plays for the Chicago soccer team.
So we can all conclude he's not coming to New England, right?
I would love it, but we're like 4 years too late.
Yeah.
This is not a place where free agents or anybody wants to go right now. It's not.
And and I saw this one point too. Like, if he didn't like Bill O'Brien, would he really like it here? Like,
no.
He hated Bill O'Brien. Why is he going to come play for Belichick? Like,
or
he's not going to win. He wants to win, bro.
You know where else I wouldn't be shocked if he went is Tennessee. He's already had Mike Vrabel.
He liked Vrabel. Yeah,
right.
It was his DC. Yeah,
and they're also a good team that's I think is on the cusp. They're a team that I think could be a wagon. Speaking of, you want to talk fantasy football real quick for next season? I don't know. I know Derrick Henry's been great for the past couple of years. I get it, but running backs they tend to fall off quick. I wouldn't be shocked if Derrick Henry is a fall off next season. I just wouldn't be. That's how it happens. Look what happened to Todd Gurley. Anyway.
No one listen to Quacks. He's just trying to convince you not to draft him so he can.
Anyway.
Come on now.
Listen,
are
there a couple guys in my league who watch the show? Maybe. Maybe I'm trying to steer them up. I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about the Celtics here for the last 10 minutes of the show. I texted you guys just annoyed. And this goes along with the sports Twitter irritation I've been having lately. It's these Celtics fans. The team sucks right now. They've won 3 of their past 10.
Yeah, 500 team right now. They're 500 team.
Yeah, I know they've lost 5 of their last 7 at least.
With 2 budding superstars in your roster in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing, and we've been doing this. It's just boiling over for me since like 2014. I want to say maybe 2015, probably 2015. we constantly have this conversation. The Red Sox are the Red Sox. The Celtics are a player away from potentially being a championship team, right? We've had this conversation, which we were just dumb back. I mean, like the 2015 Celtics were not a player away from winning the championship.
They were about 5 players away.
Yeah, but they were fun to watch. Gordon Hayward's gone. But Celtics fans refuse, especially now. Like, this is a team where I think that you could actually add a really good piece, and you are then a potential championship team. But Celtics fans don't want to trade anybody, ever, to get a good player, guys. You have to trade decent to good players. You do. And I'm sorry, I love Marcus Smart, but he might have to be one of those guys.
You might not have to trade him, though. That's the thing. I talked about this on Bernie and Chris, which is another Couch Guy Sports podcast on the network. There's a trade out there that you could realistically do. John Collins in Atlanta, they want to move him. He's about 24, 25.
Yes,
but he averaged 23. He averaged 23 and 12 last year, averaging 18 and 8 this year. What would you guys think of this supposed trade package? Romeo Langford, Grant Williams, and maybe a pick.
Yes, 100%.
Would they do that?
They won't do it, though, because they love Grant Williams.
But you think about this, right? If you're Atlanta, you're probably going to ask for either one of the Williams, Grant or Robert. You don't want to get rid of Robert because he is going to be so good defensively, and his offensive game is coming around. He's finishing at the rim better. He can actually, like, sneakily shoot a little bit from, like, 5 to 10 feet.
Grant is what he is, but he can shoot threes now. So, like,
yes, so his value isn't going to be higher. So and Langford, by the way, get the dude healthy. Get him healthy so that way he can actually, like, go and produce. You're telling me with Atlanta to play alongside Trae Young, you wouldn't want that?
I look at Romeo Langford. I would do that trade in a heartbeat. Romeo Langford, I could see like Markelle Fultz, like change of scenery, goes down somewhere else, gets healthy, and obviously Markelle Fultz has devastating injury this year, but like he was playing well and looked like a solid NBA player, so like that could benefit Romeo Langford. Another name that apparently Celtics are very strongly interested in is Andre Drummond.
I'm so tired of just
Andre Drummond
with the Celtics.
He's not coming here. He's going to go to Toronto.
So Andre Drummond, who would you rather, John Collins or Andre Drummond for this year? Not long term, this year.
I still might take John Collins. I
take Andre Drummond.
But why?
For like 2-3 years from now, I take John Collins because then him with the Jays is a phenomenal trade.
But you want a guy that's going to average. Now let me finish the statement first. You want a guy that's going to average 25 and 12, but that 25 and 12 is like not even a factor because there have been teams that he's played on where he's had those stats and it's negatively impacted those teams.
Yeah, but he's never really been on a good
team. Yeah, he's never been a good team. Like in Detroit, he was asked to be the guy.
Tatum, Jaylen Brown.
But like, yeah, he's not ever going to be the guy on a team. In Detroit, they tried to make him the guy. So like, and in Cleveland, it's just Cleveland. That's post LeBron.
But then you also take on that big contract. How much is he making for that final year?
Let me look.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Quags. Can you look that up?
Hey, you know who would be a perfect fit for this team?
Who's that?
He plays for the Hornets now, I think.
Number 20. Shut up, Jared.
Gordon Hayward.
God, get it out of your brain.
They could use him.
I'm not saying they can't, but he's gone.
I wanted to say this: the Celtics fans are and I'm a Celtics fan, but the ones out there who are like, "Oh, Gordon Hayward's trash, bro. Like he sucks." Suck it. Because
he wasn't even bad when he was here.
He wasn't even that bad. And the year that he was awful was hurt, and he was coming back from a serious injury. You watch him when he was in Utah, and you watch what he was in Charlotte. And now,
Jared,
come on.
Jared, is he coming back? Yes or no? No, I'm going to answer that for you. No, he's not.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this out loud to make a point. Gordon Hayward is having a heck of a year, and you screwed that one up.
Yes, you did, but guess what?
And I partially blame Celtics fans for that too, Al, because you know what? He couldn't take the pressure in the city because everyone dumped on him.
Andre Drummond's only 27?
Yeah, he's not old.
That's actually a little bit surprising. I thought he was a little older. Okay.
Not old.
Okay. That changes things a little bit. Okay.
So
now John Collins is like supposed to be better than that.
So how much is he making, Quags?
So he's a free agent after this season.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And his base salary this year is $28,751,775.
Now compare that.
And obviously that's prorated though. That's a prorated rate, and it's only for the rest of the season.
But now compare that to John Collins. He's not making he's barely making a third of that, if that.
Let me look it up.
And don't get me wrong. John Collins, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown together for like the next 10 years. It's a solid trio.
Yeah.
And then you find him a point guard because Kemba's not going to be here long term, obviously. So, like, you find him a decent point guard. Maybe it's Tremont Waters, right? Like, if he can have somewhat decent of a career, like Tremont Waters with those guys, and then you have Robert Williams down there with John Collins. Look, I'm all for trading Grant Williams. I think he's kind of reached his ceiling in the NBA now. Like, I think he's gonna be one of those guys, Grant Williams, who has like a serviceable career for like 10, 12 years, and like he just bounces around teams and might win a ring on like as a role player off the bench, but like he's never gonna make a crap ton of money. He's gonna benefit from the NBA salary cap just being what it is.
Right, and think about this
too.
too.
John Collins is making this season $4 million, and next year qualifying offer right now is $5.8 million, and then he's a restricted free agent the following season.
But see, when you look at that two together, I will give you this, Al. John Collins probably makes more sense. Doesn't Danny Ainge just do nothing at this point? Like, doesn't the deadline come up and we just twiddle our thumbs and Romeo Langford's still on this team?
Listen,
like,
we know, right? And I'm with you there, Jared. Danny Ainge is not going to make a move. The Celtics team is going to stand pat. But the thing is, if you made this trade, right, and let's just say hypothetically they do the trade that I mentioned, which is Langford, Grant Williams, and a pick. You get John Collins back, then you're running with Kemba when everybody's healthy. Kemba, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, say Daniel Tice, John Collins, and then off your bench you have Rob Williams, Marcus Smart, Peyton Pritchard.
You could even start Smart in that situation if you wanted to.
Right, exactly. You're
telling me have like Tice come off the bench.
You're telling me that 8 isn't a strong 8 to compete in the Eastern Conference and be at least a top 4, if not a top 3 seed? Because they're only 2.5 games out of the 2 seed right now, which is amazing to think about.
Well, that's because how far up they were up for a while. Like, they were ahead of Philly for a while. Like, they were up there.
They were in first place for a few days.
Yeah. And look, I'm not counting the season dead yet. I think they're really hitting the shambles, and I think everyone's in the right mind to question Brad Stevens and if he's the right person to coach this team. Like, they have a big game against Denver tonight. We sit here and record on Tuesday. Yeah, I want to see how they respond. Like, they've heard all the noise. We're talking about Brad Stevens. We're talking about them as like a crapshoot now. They're hearing all that, obviously.
Right.
This is going to come out after that game's over, obviously. So I'm intrigued to see what they look like. And you know what? If they actually come out, and even if they lose, if they're just competitive against Denver, who's one of the better teams in the league right now, like, maybe they're on the right track. But I think this is showing two things. One, Brad Stevens might not be the right coach to coach superstars. It's working. Whatever. We'll figure it out down the road. Maybe we need a new coach. That's the answer. But Marcus Smart is proving his value by not being on the court right now.
And here's two things really quick that really drives me nuts because it's opposite sides, right? They've been 2-5 in their last 7 games, including that road trip. But who are the 2 wins against? The Clippers, who are a perennial favorite in the West, and the Raptors, who are a top team usually in the Eastern Conference.
And they're playing better now, so they're back to themselves.
So, but on the flip side of that, right? It's just this team just drives me nuts.
You just lost to the Wizards, Al.
Yes,
you lost to the Wizards.
Yes, you lost to the Washington.
Got spanked, mind you. But no, you got spanked by the Wizards.
Yes, you did. And keep in mind this: it's not their year, and here's why. And I'm going to keep this 15 seconds. Jaylen Brown has knee tendonitis. Jason Tatum had COVID. Kemba had his knee issues. Daniel Tice has been injured. Smart's been out. It's not their year. Everything's going wrong. It's not their year. Get it through your heads. Just enjoy the ride. Enjoy playoffs. They make it back to the Eastern Conference Finals. This season with this team, it's a bonus.
Root against Kyrie Irving. Root against Kyrie Irving. Be a bystander Celtics fan. Root for the John Collins trade to happen, because if that John Collins trade does happen in some form, if you get John Collins, you're set up for next year and 5 to 6 years moving forward.
Yes. Quags, what'd you say? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I just said there's nothing enjoyable about this team right now.
No, there isn't.
Go Bruins. Go Bruins.
Go Bees.
Go Bees,
Sports
baby.
Podcast, episode 195. Nick Quaglia, Jared Scali, Al Nahigian. Maybe I'll have a better microphone next week. Maybe I won't. But this sucks. And I realized as I was typing, since I'm using the microphone on my computer, I was probably just pounding the ears of people listening to the show.
And for those of you who are not watching the video, Nick is such a mental case that he still has his microphone that's not working in front of his face because he can't do a show.
It's a mental thing. I need it.
Mental handicap right there. That's what that is. Mental crutch.
Couch Guys Sports Podcast, 195 in the books. Guys, subscribe on iTunes and on the YouTube channel as well. And then catch everything on Couch Guys Sports.
Including a big fancy hockey matchup this week with stakes at hand.
Including steak at hand. Ribeye. Couch You Guys Sports Podcast, episode 195 in the books. Guys, we will talk to you next week for episode number 196, directly after 195. We'll talk to you then. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening.
See ya.